Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Rundown, where we talk about 2A news and conservative views. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
Hey, everybody, my name is Mike Piwowarski, coming to you live from the East Coast. That's the coast with the most from your co-host with the most here on The Rundown. 2A views, conservative news, and guess what day it is?
It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos, no need to ask why. Just open your mouth and close your eyes. It's raining tacos.
It's raining tacos out in the street. Tacos, all you can eat. Lettuce and shells, cheese and meat. It's raining tacos. Yum, 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 yummity, yum. It's like a treat.
You gotta love Taco Tuesday. Gotta love Taco Tuesday. Any special plans for your taco dining this evening?
Probably not this evening because I did have a bunch at lunch today. I got that urge. Remembered it was Tuesday and just drove towards the migrant worker part of town, and sure enough, I got hooked up. So all good.
All is good. All is good. No worries. No worries. No special plans. We still haven't decided. We're my wife and I are going to do a date night tonight and go out and watch a movie. Because it's the cheap night to go to the movies. So we're going to head on out to the movies this evening. We'll probably there's a Rubio's nearby that has a very, very good fish taco. So I think we may stop there for dinner before we go do our thing.
Interesting. I did not realize movie theaters were open yet in California with the COVID stuff going on through March there.
Oh, yeah, no, they're open. They've been open for a little while. I don't know that they're getting a lot of business, but I think it's starting to pick up a little bit.
Well, that's because of what they're playing, not what they are. So,
pretty much.
Hollywood is shooting blanks here recently, except for Alec Baldwin.
Except for Alec Baldwin clearly is not shooting blanks. Which is why he's in court. But that's a story for another day. Hey, do me a favor. Let's go ahead and right off the top give a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Let's say, hey, went and visited these guys today, fellow combat vets over at Hitman Industries. That's hitmanindustries.net, hitmanindustries.net. For all your AR barrel needs, check them out. Holidays coming, Black Friday stuff. Everybody's got Black Friday stuff, well, except maybe the California Republican Assembly, but everybody else does. So go to hitmanindustries.net and get you an AR barrel. The California Republican Assembly, make sure you check them out, see what they're doing, what they're planning for you in California for the next year or two. And again, go over there, help them out. It's not that stuff don't happen for free. If you want to go get some awesome combat gear, get some web gear, tactical gear, like field gear, right? Go to uscombatgear.com. And of course, now's the time. You should be stepping up. You should be getting yourself some of these holsters. Get yourself a Hog holster, HAWG holster. That's hogholsters.com. Use the code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces, The Rundown, and get you a great deal on a holster for you and for everybody else for Christmas. So make it happen.
Folks, once again, these are the folks who bring us to you. So do us a favor, go to them, check them out. It's that time. Even if you're not looking for something, I'm sure you know someone who's looking for something. So go there, check them out. If you like what you see, spend some money with them, and make sure to tell them that the guys over at The Rundown sent you. Also want to encourage you, if you haven't already done so, please make sure like, share, subscribe. We know that the algorithms over there at Facebook and Google and the YouTube, they don't want our perspective to be broadcast. They don't want folks to listen to us or to watch us. So they are doing whatever they can to throttle our reach. So what we need is your help. We need you to make sure that you've subscribed to us. However you can subscribe, and wherever you are on social media, trust me, you can find The Rundown. Also, when it comes to listening to it, you can, if you listen to podcasts, we are wherever you get your podcasts. So go there, check it out, subscribe, and it'll automatically be downloaded to your devices, and you can listen to us in your car or wherever. But whatever you do, tune in. However you partake, just partake and encourage your friends to do the same.
Hey, Craig, let me point something out real quick. Just a little thank you. You came on the Arms Room radio program this past weekend with I don't know, with a good 8 or 9 minutes notice, and we had a good time doing it. So we also I want to thank you for that. But we also got to say words on there that we don't get to say here, and we can't even say what they are because we can't say them here.
No. We talked real briefly about erection flawed.
Yes.
Those of you who are regular listeners to the show know that. Well, you know why we call it that. It has been pretty successful in keeping us from getting from getting another check mark.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah. We've been able to hide behind it so far. So
there you go. Speaking about erection flawed, let's get into our topics for today. Where are we at here? All right, so story number one. Donald Trump has announced that he is running for president in 2024. And the interesting thing about it is as he begins his run for presidency, his run to get reelected as president of the United States, I didn't even realize this. He is going to be in court, 4 different courtrooms. He's got lawyers in 4 different courtrooms in one day as he begins his 2024 run. Now, Mike, I can't think of this because when you start looking at all the people, all the court cases that he is dealing with, one can only just agree that this has got to be nothing less than political persecution, not prosecution. I mean, you have the Attorney General, Mike, there in New York, who filed a civil suit basically saying, well, he overstated the value of his properties that he used as collateral on loans. Now, mind you, there's no accusation that he didn't pay the loans back. There's no accusations that he he was even late on any payments on any of the loans.
Yeah.
I mean, this is above and beyond. I mean, by the way, with all the investigation, we're talking, they started investigating him in 2016, right? It's now almost the end of 2022. And this is all they've got. This is what they've got on him after 6, almost 7 years of investigations.
Yeah, they got jack squat on him is what they got. Okay, and they're continuing to try to, muddy the waters around him. Make life difficult for him. What he did in New York with this, the loan values and property values, Craig, is nothing more than like, oh, hey, Craig, nice truck. What's that worth? I figure about 30, 40 grand. All right. He wasn't trying to sell it at the time. He was not trying to pump the value up to increase the price of other things. He wasn't trying to tell the guy at the bank it's worth 40 grand. Let me get a collateral loan. He just said, about 30, 40. He's trying to make himself look like a successful businessman, not using that the things that he said to get more money or influence. It was like a boost. It was like, I'm a successful businessman. This building's worth like $2 million. And she wants to put him on trial for that? It's not a crime. He did not say it and do it for financial gain. He did it for, how you doing? I'm Donald Trump. I got $1 billion.
Well, no. What he did was he was using it for collateral. He was using the property for collateral on a loan. So what the point that she's saying is that he would not have been able to borrow as much money or utilize it to show his net worth. And that's really what some of it is about. He got loans using that as collateral, and he probably shouldn't have been able to get as much money because the properties weren't worth as much as he said they were worth. My question is that the people whom he defrauded, quite frankly, if there was any defrauding, and I don't believe there was, it's the people he borrowed the money from. But guess what? Usually it's their appraisers. They approve the appraisers or whoever does the appraisal, number one. Number two, are they suing? I'm assuming they're not. Probably because they got their money back.
Yeah. Let me clarify my statements. You did it there for me, kind of. Yes, Donald Trump said, hey, it's worth 30, 40,000, right? He's not the one that gets to decide the true value of it. The appraisers come out, the business people come out, and they have to go, here's the report, here's this is what it's really worth. Well, So Donald Trump said it's $30,000, $40,000. Like you said, the banker, the appraisers come out and they go, no, it's worth either 20 or it's worth 80, whatever it really is.
Right.
So I don't see how they can charge him with, it's his statement wasn't final, right? They go, oh, it's worth this, and the appraiser says it's worth this, sir. Okay, we'll take that much money then.
Right. I don't get to when I go out and take a loan out, and when I take a home loan, they don't take my word for what my house is worth. They send an appraiser who determines how much it's worth. All this is, man. This is all just about, number one, the very fact that she got elected on the idea, basically on the promise of going after Donald Trump. There's no other argument that this is a political persecution. That's all it is, and I'm surprised that he is not suing her for that very reason.
Oh, he will. He's got Jay Sokolow up there, in New York, as a New York lawyer. Yeah, that guy sues everybody. That guy sued himself and won. Yeah.
He sued himself and won. Well, it's beyond frustrating that this is where we're at, politically, where we are now utilizing law enforcement to attack our political opponents. And I'll be honest, I have not seen Republicans do this, but I've definitely seen Democrats doing it. And no greater example than announcing a special counsel to prosecute the former president the day after he announces he is running for re-election against your boss.
Yeah. No, that doesn't seem shady at all, Craig. That's completely above board, because now Biden's going to come out and go, I don't tell the DOJ what to say. They say it on their own. I don't give them their marching orders. Yeah.
They're not coming out and saying that. They already came out and said it.
Right.
Yeah, they've already White House already said, we had no idea. Now, I don't doubt that the president had no idea, not because he wasn't told, and not because he didn't tell them to do it, because he probably forgot.
Oh, the White House knew. Listen, definitely yes. Sure. And Sleepy Joe probably knew, but like you're right, he probably forgot stuff. He says stuff all the time, like my butt's been wiped, investigate Donald Trump, destroy the laptop, those kind of things.
Which is interesting, because if they really don't want Donald Trump to be president, all they're doing is feeding more and more into the people who are like, okay, look, we cannot not support him because of this. I mean, clearly their goal is to keep him from being president again.
Craig, I've said it to you many times on here. Every time they take a shot at Donald Trump like this, it's like shooting cans of spinach at Popeye. They're just making them stronger.
Yeah. No, that is definitely the truth. Definitely the truth. Yeah. All right, this next story is we've talked about military readiness here, but we've also talked about the woketivism that is taking place currently in our military. And I think there's no greater or let me clarify, worse example than when you had the General Milley decide that he was going to promote books on critical race theory and whatnot, have his folks reading that sort of stuff, because, well, in his eyes, he was like, well, he wants to know and understand white people, or white male anger, guilt, whatever it is, because the people who write these books know and understand it. Right. But what's happening now is you have a new report that's come out that basically says that the Pentagon is promoting critical race theory, gender identity, and sanity. The point is that they are placing things like pronouns over military readiness. In other words, they're more interested in a social experiment than they are in making sure that our fighting men and women are prepared to defend our nation and defend themselves, quite frankly, on the battlefield. And one of the things you're going to start to see coming up here real soon, Mike, is them addressing that.
Yes. They have to, Craig. Listen, the military right now, the readiness is at the bottom. We know that the funding is going down. It's a Democrat in office, so we know what they're going to do. They're going to put money into digital programs, less soldier hands-on programs. Let's take care of problems overseas with an unguided or a guided airstrike missile, as opposed to putting boots on the ground. What's that mean? That means we don't have to train boots on the ground. We don't have to give them money. We have to give them equipment. We're gonna let them sit at home in their barracks or on their bases, untrained, going through CRT and woke training nonsense, because that's what they're going to shove down their throats. The military's tired of it. We see every day that the military is below where the ranks should be. They cannot meet their recruiting goals. They're well over on their retirement and separation goals. People are bailing out left and right. And you think the reason we get countries like China wanting to toughen up, or North Korea throwing missiles, or over in Russia not caring what the U.S. thinks about the Ukraine, is just coincidence that it's this weak ass president in office who's not putting any funding in the military? Well, then you're fooling yourself.
Well, Mike, and the thing is, one of the things that the military keeps saying is we're not promoting critical race theory. We're not promoting critical race theory. Because critical race theory is, and by definition, if we're going to use the definition, it is a legal theory that is used mostly in higher education and law schools. But there are aspects of critical race theory that you will find in the quote-unquote anti-racism training, which is basically racism training. It is teaching people that white people are bad, they're evil, they're predators, and that if you are a black person or a person of color, you are oppressed by white people and by the government, and that's what they teach. Those are the aspects that they focus on. Whenever you start hearing words like white supremacy, whenever you start hearing words like white privilege, proximity to whiteness, these are all things where they're basically trying to make white people make you, if you are evil, if you are white, you are in fact evil. And if you are evil, it is because of your proximity to whiteness.
You are correct, sir. You are correct. Yeah.
And anyway, but it just there are a few things that I have seen in the public sphere that is more racist than anti-racism training.
Yes. I was going to ask, what's your current proximity to whiteness?
Well, evidently because I have been married for going on 30 years, because, all of my children are with the same woman, because I went to college and I own my own business. Clearly, I have internalized racism. I'm suffering from internalized racism, and my proximity to whiteness is pretty darn close.
Yeah, mine too. It's about that far away. I'm all white. I'm white.
Well, you're one of the few white guys I know in Florida that's still kind of, pasty.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe it's just your lighting.
Yeah. Listen, folks, I'm about as I'm out in the sun, and I'm mostly Italian. I'm as dark as Craig is half the time. So.
Okay.
Which isn't really dark. It's not really dark. It's a good tan, is what it is.
Yeah. Good luck with that one. But anyway, but the thing is what they're doing. Yeah. What they're doing is they're putting these young men and women, or according to them and others, they're putting them in serious danger, because these are people who are going to need to be ready. Once again, not just to defend our country, but to defend themselves on the battlefield. And they're not prepared at all. But at least they know and they understand the importance of pronouns.
Yeah, you got to have that, right? If you don't have whether that, they, or them, you got to have that, they, or them. Yeah.
That, they, them. Okay, so I heard the other day, and someone made this interesting point. If you really want a quote unquote gender neutral pronoun, it is what you should use. But the problem is they don't want it because it dehumanizes them.
I was going to say, Craig, I think that's what we originally used, and they didn't like that.
Well, exactly. But looking at the English language, that is actually what is most appropriate, because it is, in fact, gender neutral.
A lot of words in that English language I could pick out. If we're using all of English language for words to describe them, I got a few.
Yeah, no. It's a family show.
All right. Okay. Gotcha.
All right, moving right along. Okay, this was, if you guys ever get a chance, you gotta follow Libs of TikTok, because this was a story that we just popped up. The thing about Libs of TikTok, and they always go after them, Twitter hates them. The left media hates them because they say, oh, they promote bigotry and hatred and all that. And all libs of TikTok does, is all they do, is they take the things that the extremists on the left say and do and share it. That's it. They're not making it up. They're not accentuating it. They're not. All they're saying is, look at what they said, right? In this particular case, you have a classroom, and this is in Oregon, which is, the they are trying to compete with California for being the most woke state in the country. But in a class, this is in a class in Oregon. This is a high school freshman English class. White kids were described as predators and school shooters in an Oregon high school classroom. Now, here are words that are being used once again to describe white kids. Now, if you look on here, and this is okay, so it says white boys. It says school shooter, no respect for anyone, racist, privileged, think they're better than everyone. Chain necklaces, don't know what that means. Bad handwriting, gym rats, predators, no filter. And that is their perspective. Let's see what they say of white girls. Bad choices, think they are unique, skinny, perfect. I'm trying to read. I can't read that one. Oh, drives white Jeep Wrangler. Clearly, they have a specific white female in mind in that one. But Mike, the point that I'm making with this whole thing is, imagine. All right, let's reverse that. Imagine if they had up there, black girls and black boys, right? Okay. I mean, first of all, the fact that they call it, imagine how if you had some of those very same things up there, tell me that teacher would not be fired for being racist.
I agree. I concur with you. I believe that teacher would be fired for being racist. Yes, I do.
I don't understand, but under the guise of anti-racism, it's okay for you to say racist things about white people.
Well, Craig, you can't make an omelet without cracking a few eggs, right? Listen, it's ridiculous. It's like saying, once you think of all the most horrible words you could think of, folks, that to describe somebody's race, religion, sex, creed, whatever, sexual origin or gender origin, national origin. There we go. And think of them in your head, and now go, oh, it's okay to talk to them because I'm telling them not to say them. But like, you're trying to be anti with it. So it's. I taught human diversity. I still teach human diversity. And I teach to executives, teach it to military and law enforcement. And it's one of those where we go over word origins so people will understand them and get a better understanding of the pain they may cause others. But you don't throw these lists up there like this and just be nonsense. And this is what we're going to do. This anti-racism, it brings up racism where it's not anymore, right, Craig? So as we move on and we better educate ourselves and live together, here we are 60 years past the civil rights movement, right? And I think we've made some pretty decent progress, minus the Obama years. But now where they want to, take these terms and go, oh, listen, little 4-year-old or 4th grade kid, I know you've never heard this word before, but bam, here we go. We want to talk to you about this. I do it on an adult level, an executive level, right? To make sure, because there's still those lingering effects there, from older adults that grew up in our generation, like you and I did, Craig, where we saw it, the last legs of the civil rights movement, and racism going on in modern day society. But to go into the schools today and the colleges and try and stir up this nonsense, just let's throat punch somebody. Can we just get this over with?
I will never forget. I was at an event that was put on by Sacramento County School Boards Association, and they had some student board members from one of the districts, and I remember one of them talking about dealing with and confronting racism because of microaggressions. Now, I'm like, really? I'm like, so in other words, someone didn't make you feel totally welcomed. So therefore they were racist and were discriminating against you. That makes absolutely no sense to me. That is completely and utterly idiotic. It's just, first of all, how you feel is on you. It's not on anyone else. Now, if someone says something or does something that adds to that or promotes that, first of all, to ascribe it automatically to racism. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't come over and say hello to you, therefore I'm racist against you. But I happen to be black as well, so so does that mean I'm racist because I'm black? Oh wait, I'm older than you. Oh, I'm a male, so therefore I was discriminating against you because you were a female. You're automatically automatically assuming the worst of people and laying blame on why you don't have what you want or why you don't feel the way you want to feel. What it does is it discourages people from taking their own license, from owning their own, first of all, owning their own actions, behaviors, and feelings. And what it does is it removes power from them. Because when I take control over my environment, when I say, look, I am where I am because of the choices that I make, then I empower myself, because guess what? I then know that if I make different choices, then I can wind up in the place that I want, and then I can wind up in a different place.
That's right. You're correct. I don't really have much to add to that one. I think you're right.
Yeah, but you can't sit there and tell me that things like critical race theory, that the aspects of critical race theory are not being taught in classrooms. And by the way, I will once again say this. There are very few school districts that are actually approving or have actually approved curriculum that involves critical race theory. Most of this is individual teachers who are plugging into organizations like Black Lives Matter and promoting this stuff and adding it to what they're supposed to be, what they're teaching in class. Which, by the way, is the reason why, as parents, we need to be paying close attention to what our kids are learning in school. Which is why school boards need to be looking for and asking for specific examples of not just critical race theory, but anti-racism training or curriculum that's taking place in their schools. Any equity or diversity training or classroom or curriculum, you need to ask to look at it. You need to see it, because I guarantee you that some of this stuff is happening. It could be happening in your schools.
Oh, it is. Even if you're in a school district where they voted to get away with it, you're still going to have some teacher go, try and slip it in and teach their perspective.
Yep.
Again, I think that what the school needs, we have it on our police officers to make sure that they're taking care of everybody correctly, right? Is there should be cameras in the schoolroom so that the parent.
But Mike, you know what? I agree with you. No, I agree with you. The problem is this, is that most parents won't pay attention. Almost none will. Yes. In fact, I guarantee you, almost no parents will. And in part, I'm just going to be real with you, I put a lot of this on parents because parents need to know what their kids are learning, and they don't. They have no idea. And I know there are parents out there who are going to get mad at me, but I'm going to tell you right now, if your kids are learning stuff like this and you don't know about it, it's because you're not paying attention. So start paying attention.
Greg, I would beg to differ with you that these parents would not pay attention. Now, as far as going to school and actually being interactive, yes, but if you put a webcam in there and you let these parents log in, Craig, the most popular TV shows out there are reality TV shows. Everybody likes the voyeurism. You get all the Karens out there. They may not go, Craig, I know what you're thinking. Oh, they don't care about their children's education, but you know what they do care about? Being snoopy and complaining on somebody. So they would be there watching this.
Well, here's the thing. The reason why those reality shows work is because they take the best of and they put them on there. All right, hey, you know what, Mike? We're running short on time. We spent a lot of time on that one. I'm going to go ahead and make the executive decision. We're going to skip all the celebs who are leaving Twitter because most of them are C-list celebrities, so we don't care. We'll probably hit it up later. But I want to skip forward to our parting shot because this is a good one. Mike has seen these before, examples of this before, but I had not. It is something called Trump and Son. And oh my God, it is hilarious. You folks are going to love it. Check it out.
And I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Just what I needed now. A wino and a rhino.
How much did you weigh before you lost the 40 pounds?
I don't remember. See, I'm one of those unlucky people. The least little thing I eat and I just blow up. I think it's glands.
Well, you better stop messing with them glands. Well, Papa, you gonna help me with this garden now?
Son, I did my part. I got us a scarecrow. This is guaranteed to scare away slugs and snails and birds. I didn't know that you entered in that contest.
I didn't only enter into it, I'm gonna win it.
Wrong. That's the first place you can enter that contest because you're not eligible.
Okay, hold on. I messed that one up. Let me reset it. We'll go from there to there, and then we're gonna have to reset it. There we go. All right, let's get the rest. Let's get the rest of that one in.
Into it, I'm gonna win it.
Wrong. That's the first place you can enter that contest because you're not eligible. See, one of the things you have to be is a part of a certain race.
What race?
Human. Do like I tell you. Forget about that. Bow out. Keep yourself from being embarrassed.
Why should I be embarrassed? I got everything it takes to win that contest. When I was born, my body was blessed by Mother Nature, honey.
And as you got older, it was cursed by Father Time.
Just remember that the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Hallelujah!
And you remember when you look in the mirror tonight, the Lord gave you that face and you stuck with it.
Listen, if I wasn't so sick, I would give you one of these across your ugly lips. Who you calling ugly? I'm calling you ugly. I could stick your face in some dough and make some gorilla cookies.
Okay, we're gonna leave it at that. That's just a few. So for those of you who are just listening, I realize you don't. So that was it was from Sanford and Son. I know some of you youngsters out there have never watched that show. Trust me, you have to go and watch Sanford and Son. It's hilarious. But imposed over the faces of Fred Sanford was the face of Donald Trump, and those whom he was insulting were various different lefties, like Mitt Romney, Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton. It was phenomenal. That was hilarious.
Yes, it was. Guess what years that was on TV?
What years?
No, that's not guessing.
Oh, that's not guessing. I'm gonna say like 73 to 80.
72 to 77. We give you most of the cookie for effort. Yeah.
Okay, I get most of the cookie. Oh, yeah. Red Fox was. By the way, for those of you who have never seen Red Fox do stand up, he was probably one of the main inspirations for Richard Pryor. So if you want to know what his comedy was like, they used to be called brown bags. When you would go buy the album, they were called brown bag specials because they were so dirty. You know, it was considered obscene, so you had to have it in a brown paper bag.
Yeah, don't let your kids listen to these, okay? All right.
No, definitely this is not for your children.
Nope.
All right, Mike, before we head out, it's about that time to give a shout out to our sponsors once again.
There you go. Let's wrap it up here with our good friends over at Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. You can get barrels at rifle caliber and pistol caliber, rifle length and pistol length over at hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Make sure you reach out to them and help any way you can. If you want some tactical gear, some great web gear, field gear, go to uscombatgear.com. And the special, folks, if you want to get yourself some holsters, some tactical holsters, some concealable holsters, handmade, veteran owned and operated. Go over to hogholsters.com. That's HAWG holsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spacing. Get yourself some good presents for yourself and for others this Christmas season.
Excellent. Folks, once again, these are the folks that bring us to you. Please help us, help them, help us. Please help us, help them, help you, whatever. Go there, spend some money. Tell them that the guys over the Rundown sent you. And with that, we're going to call it a Taco Tuesday. We will be back tomorrow on the fine hump day, where I think this time we'll be successful in beginning the weekend in the middle of the week. You guys take care.
There you go.